Today we're going to perform the change the brake pads on the 2010 Honda Civic. The procedure can be applied from the 2006 to the 2011 model. Well, let's get started with removing this caliper. Asking for a 12. You can use a socket or an open wrench. Use a removal. Not so bad. Alright, so we may need something like a pry bar, screwdriver to wedge the piston in and out, create some slack, and remove this unit out. Alright, it came out relatively easy. Alright. Let's get started with the cleaning. It's a good opportunity to paint your calipers if that's your kind of thing. I do. I like it. But it's a little cold today and it's not recommended for the paint to work well. This type of condition. Yes, I have a bit of a meat left on the calipers. Starting to see a bit of uneven wear, especially here. It's wearing now more than here. So basically, which means this guy right here can move freely. This one not so much. We'll address those as well. And again, this rust will go away after I use it for a little bit. This car has been sitting for the whole winter. Alright, these are not broken, which I like. I like to clean them too. You can take them to the wire wheel and clean them. Let's get some grease. Alright. Not endorsing any brand, but use synthetic grease. That way, the petroleum is not going to eat on the rubber, boots, sliders, and so on. So let's actually go over the brakes we're using for this job. You have the option, of course, to use the brake pads of your choice. I actually went to Honda. This is the part number for this vehicle. 2006 to 2011. That's when this vehicle was made. This is the part number for the front brake pads. Thank you to the guys at Honda of Shelton, Connecticut. Always take care of me over there. Had the part already for me. They charged me over the phone, and they did a great job in taking care of me. I was in and out. And of course, the guys are super cool over there. Alright, for brakes, this is the back one. And contact points, grease them up. Make sure that it doesn't bind, doesn't seize in there. They have plenty of room to move. Perfect fit. brake pad number 2. Oops. And just to let you guys know, these brakes you have to do a bit of assembling. I don't know if this is what the guys get at the shop for their own repairs, just in case a car rolls up, but this brake kit had these contact plates separate. Not a big deal, but just to let you know, you may actually have to put them together. So far, the only thing that I notice is that the black one goes in the front and the silver one goes in the back. Perfect slide. And we're basically done here. I'm just gonna recondition these. I'm gonna get a rag, clean them up. Hopefully I don't see any rust in there, but I have to take the oil grease out, re-grease them, put the caliper in, and we're in good shape. This is a very simple pull-out design. Not so bad. This is the top one that was working correctly. Take the boot out, look at the orientation, how it goes. This flat part goes towards the top. I'm gonna take it out, clean them up. No rust. This is just marks of the fluid that wasn't there and the boot, so it's completely cleaned. I'm gonna lube them up, and on this process we're gonna make sure that you burp these out and be liberal with these. These guys can also impact the way the brake pedal feels. Do you have a spongy brake feel? And that's because air gets trapped in here. We have to burp them out. You have this groove where the top boot sits, and gas just came out, air. And normally I like to give it a second round of this grease. Okay. And this guy just came out. So just make sure this boot right here is perfectly flush with the caliper bracket. Let's look at our second guy. Here, not so good. Very, very dry. Same process here. Lube them up. Be liberal. These can break over time. I would actually check these with your dealer. They're not that expensive, to see if they have them. You may need them. Why? This slide pin, my apologies, needs to travel in this bore. Why? Well, I'll show you why soon. The piston of this caliper is going to compress, it's going to sandwich these brake pads as the rotor is actually moving. So what's going to do is it needs room to travel, so it may need to actually just extend and travel in, and that's where these come in handy. These can rust because they dry up inside of this bore, and it can be a bit problematic to take them out. One worst case scenario where it was completely seized in there, the whole bracket had to be purchased to replace the whole unit once in my lifetime, and I think it was an American car. But to me, in my personal experience, the way I was taught on this is to do a complete brake job. The slide pins need to be completely greased up. Sometimes you may not need to, which is okay. But check them out. It doesn't hurt. Burp them out. Sometimes air gets trapped in there. And I'm gonna reinstall this one. Very, very good. Alright, much better reaction than before. Let me get my brake caliper compression tool, and I'm going to compress this cylinder back in there. Why? We have more meat on these new pads than the old ones, so we need to compensate that space back with the cylinder. We need to make sure it goes back in there, so we need that space back. Let's go ahead and get that done. You may need one of these. It's a brake caliper tool set by OEM. You can rent these at your auto store for free. They charge you, you return it back, you get your money back. I do so many of these that I actually decided to keep it, and it's paid off big time. If you don't have, and I know I have some parts missing, I have them on my bench, and the tool works great. Now, let's just say you're in the middle of changing your brakes ASAP. A set of channel locks will help you out too. I like them. If you were to ask me, not so much, but if you're in a pinch, you're in a pinch. So, I don't like to press here or anything like that, so what I might do is, or what you can do is, place one of the old brake pads in here and squeeze in there. Any force from the channel locks will actually be applied to the brake pad that is already going to the trash, and push them in. You don't want to damage the groove of the cylinder. Also check for leaks. This one looks pretty good. Clean it. This one I don't see anything bad, but let's go ahead and also address the back caliper. The back brake pad. And usually what I like to do is put a little bit of grease in the middle of the brake pad itself. Why? I'm gonna come in contact with this guy right here. Alright, a lot of junk came out of there. Let me see if I can reposition the camera to show you guys how to push this guy in. Alright, so took some time to open up the hood and open up the brake reservoir for the fluid. I'll show you guys later, just in case it was a little under max. And also a good sign of a caliper that is failing is it taking a long time to compress? And this one is not. Alright, so you can see it bottom out. Makes it super easy to slide in. And we are done. Usually I like to line them up. Okay, good. Number 12. You don't have to kill these. Snug them in. Alright, so you are done with brakes. Now, let me show you where the brake reservoir is. And it's right here. This is the max line, and given the fact that the car's on an angle, so it's not going to give me accurate readings on the level, but I see it down here, and over here I see it like right on the ring end, but the line is right here. I'm pretty sure that if I do the other side, this will come even higher and level out, of course. That's why I took the cap off. Brake fluid can be, I'm not going to say dangerous, but it can take paint off. So be very mindful of that. So make sure that you have a rag here. Do not overfill it. Brake fluid doesn't wear out unless there's a leak. And if there's a leak, of course, it goes somewhere. So you have to trace that. Not so much about brake fluid as a science as into where it goes as a coolant or anything of the sort. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. Hopefully this video was helpful. Give it a thumbs up. I own this car, so hopefully plenty of videos to come up with this unit. And subscribe. You know, it's free. I always have something to do with cars, whether it's mine or customers that come into my garage. And thank you for giving me some of your time. Thank you. Until next time.